Alright, I'm doing this now. Welcome to my my attempt at a Platinum Nuzlocke run, and if you don't know what Nuzlocke is, there's 3 rules. When a Pokemon runs out of HP and faints, they're dead forever, and I'm not allowed to use that Pokemon again. Also, you can only catch your first unique encounter of each route, so if you run away or kill your first encounter, can't touch that route again. Lastly, you have to name each of your Pokemon with a unique nickname, and yeah, I'm also playing with 2 extra rules, making things a little harder, more exciting. Can't use my starter. Starter Pokemon have pretty good stats and move pools, so playing without one will make this much more challenging. And also I can't use legendaries for an extra challenge, so with that out of the way, let's go! So I figured since the remakes for this game are coming out soon, it'd be fun to do a Nuzlocke for it. And I don't really do these kinds of videos, but I do like challenges like these on games I like, and I've seen other YouTubers do Nuzlockes, like Juden Animation, fucking Smallant, and others, and I used to think Nuzlockes were stupid before I ever did one myself, because I figured you could just grind to an absurdly high level and easily steamroll the game with your starter, but I underestimated this challenge, and it's fun as hell, as you'll see if you watch it, for 2 big reasons. One, grinding is way more tedious than I thought it would be, so over-leveling like that isn't really realistic unless you want to fucking no-life a Pokemon game. And 2, with Permadeath being a thing, you value your team way more, and an almost randomly generated story naturally forms with every Nuzlocke you do because of the random nature of random encounters and stuff. But the reason I wanted to make a video was because other people's Nuzlockes weren't just Let's Plays. They told legit stories that at least I got somewhat invested in. And suddenly, every major battle becomes a high-stakes game where you have to outplay the AI trainers to keep your teammates alive, which I think is super fucking cool. And yes, that's cheesy as fuck. I mean, come on, it's a fucking kids game, but I thought it'd be fun to try my hand at making one of these myself. And I decided to name myself Shitass and my rival Dream because I think it's funny and old memes never die. So watch this, watch this. Fuck yeah, he said it! He said the funny fuck you! Woo! Woo! Anyways, you probably see those letters appearing. They'll just indicate when I'm pressing which buttons because I'm playing on an emulator, so I can speed things up, which, especially later on, is a fucking blessing. And we'll just speed through here, and yeah, we just gotta walk through. Oh, he said it again! Okay, he says that many more times later on, so I'm just gonna shut up now. And at this point, we get to choose our starter, and like I said before, I'm tossing this guy first chance I get, so the first battle doesn't even really matter. Literally just gonna use my starter to get my first Pokemon, and that's it. For the spirit of the Nuzlocke though, I just randomly choose a starter, and it's Turtwig. The only thing this really changes is what starter Dream chooses, which is Chimchar, so I'm gonna have to be able to deal with a fire type when we have our first real battle. And oh, I wonder who this blue-haired fellow is. I sure hope this isn't foreshadowing an epic yet dangerous climactic battle. Oh no. Now, remember when I said we can only catch the first encounter on every route? Well, to catch something I kinda need a Pokeball, which I can only get at the other side of this grass. So basically the only way I can get a Pokemon from here is if I don't get any encounters right now. So now we got Pokeballs, and we have access to 2 routes to get Pokemon from, so let's see what we get. Starly, which is actually really good. Solid stats and 2 evolutions. This little lad will end up being super fucking good for the run later on. You'll just see. And I decide to name our first Pokemon Mordicai. You are the first, and you will be the last. I train up Mordecai a bit before we get rid of our starter forever, and I might be seeming a bit overcautious here, you'll see throughout the battles, but there's Permadeath. So if the opponent gets a lucky critical hit on me, they'll do double damage and quite possibly one-shot me, which will be a major problem as we go through this run, so we'll have to be ready for anything, which is why I'm training Mordecai up right now. And now that I feel Mordecai is a high enough level to handle himself, we put away our starter forever. Thank you for your help. Our second encounter is just a Bidoof, and honestly, talking from experience, he's pretty useless in battle. But Bidoof are notoriously good as HM slaves, so that's what I'm gonna name him. I do consider naming him Rigby, but I don't know, I think that'd be more appropriate if I actually used him side by side with Mordecai, which I won't, so HM Slave it is. Now, usually I won't talk about just random items I go around and pick up, but this one is interesting, an antidote, because later on, it's going to save Mordecai's life in a pretty interesting way. Now let's move on to the next town, and to do that we'll have to fight some trainers for the first time, and Mordecai sets up really well, thankfully, and we are just breezing through right now. Now we're in Jubilife City, and we get access to 2 more encounters. We also get this watch. Our next encounter is a Cricketot, and I've never used a Cricketot before, so I'm a little excited to get to check it out and see how it does, and I name it Mad. Now, Mad kinda really sucks. And I don't think anything else exemplifies that fact better than my next encounter here when I try to use Mad to weaken this Zubat so I can catch it. Mad's only attacking move is Bide, which sucks in a normal run, but in a Nuzlocke, it's so bad you're basically endangering the user's life when you use it. It's a 3-turn move, and it basically takes all the damage it receives during the first 2 turns and deals it back double to your opponent. This is bad, because when going up against weak Pokemon like this Zubat, you barely do any damage. And if you go up against a stronger Pokemon who could actually do damage to you, allowing you damage to it, you are not only risking a critical hit, which means death, you are also locked into this move for those 3 turns. So if things go south while you're using Bide, there's nothing you can do. You just sit there like a dickhead with a thumb up your ass and get killed. Now, I am hoping that as Mad levels up, he'll learn some better moves. Now, to move on, we have to have our first major battle with Dream. I don't want to risk any deaths yet, so I grind up my boys a little, and I think I should be good. And as you can see here, Mordecai just absolutely wipes the floor with Dream, but although he's doing really good now, the next major battle is the Rock-type gym leader Rourke, which is weak against flying, and I need either a Grass, Water, or Fighting type to have any chance with him. None of which I have, so I'm hoping my next counter is one of those, but it's not. Shinx is a good Pokemon though, and Static here will be very useful later on. But for now, he won't be of any use to us. Also, Mordecai evolves here. Nice. And unfortunately, our next encounter, who I named Kidney Stone, isn't water, grass, or fighting either. There's only 1 encounter left now. And it's Machop, a fighting type. A really good fighting type as well. I name him Rourke Slayer, because he is going to kick some ass pretty soon. But not before we get our asses kicked first, though. And it's by a random wild Pokemon we tried to catch. This troll of an Onix refused to be caught, and then he used Bind to trap Mordecai in battle with him, almost killing Mordecai in the process. I was able to run away finally, but I ran out of potions, and oh my god, if Rourke is this bad, then we're in trouble. After some training though, I feel like Rourke Slayer will be able to carry. Let's just hope I'm right about that. Alright, so let's do this. Rourke starts with a Geodude, and we take care of him no problem. But his Ace Cranidos is a different story. We can unlucky flinch, and we're a 3-hit KO, so that means that right now, he can crit us, and it'll all be over. So I decided to heal, but it's still not enough. He's still doing a lot of damage with the headbutt, and a critical hit could end it all right now, but I have to attack. So yes, I survive, and he's gone. The next Pokemon is an Onix. I'm hoping it's not as trolly as the last one we saw, but luckily after we heal, we're able to take it out nice and easily. And that was our first gym, and it was a bit messy. We should have leveled up a bit more to ensure that Krandos couldn't have taken us down with a lucky crit, but we got lucky this time, so I just gotta make sure to be more careful in the future. After that, we get our first battle with Team Galactic, and even though Lucas's Piplup here is pretty useless, Mordecai more than makes up for it. Our next encounter on our way to Commander Mars is a Budu. He's not a bad Pokemon, and he'll be pretty useful later on with helping us capture higher level Pokemon as we go on. With weak moves to get Pokemon's health down without killing him, like Absorb, and he's got Paralysis. And I name him Weed, because, bro, look at him. Before the Commander Mars fight, I just organized my team a bit, and from this point forward, I'm going to be catching lots of Pokemon as the world opens up to me, and I never use most of these Pokemon, so from this point forward, just know that I'll only be showing the captures I actually end up using. Alright, Commander Mars time. She opens with a Zubat, which isn't good for my Roark Slayer, so I immediately switch out. And I almost one-shot it, and it poisons me, which is really annoying, but we quick attack and it's gone. Now Mars sends in her ace Purugly, and she is perfect for Roark Slayer to take out. Also, he's not poisoned, and even though there's a few hiccups along the way, and I'm really cautious with my potions here, Purugly can't do anything to us. So, Roark Slayer takes her out easy. Now, Mordecai being poisoned is still an issue even outside the battle, because when someone is poisoned, that Pokemon takes damage with every few steps you take. So, if we're far away from Pokemon Center, which we are, the poisoned Pokemon could die. So, I'm worried that Mordecai won't make it. But wait! We have our antidote from earlier, and we can heal him. We are just breezing through. It's real easy now, because Mordecai and Roark Slayer are just kicking everybody's asses. I mean, they've got really good type coverage, and they're just good Pokemon in general. But I said good type coverage, not perfect, and we soon encounter a weakness of ours. Psychic types. Roark Slayer gets destroyed by them, and Mordecai can't do much against them. Thankfully, though, these psychic types aren't too powerful, and we're able to make it through okay. This time, at least. Now, this is just an interesting little tag team battle that I want to highlight, and it's with two Ghastlies that trap Roark Slayer in with Mean Look. And it forces me, for like the first time ever, to actually use Foresight, which is usually a really useless move because its only purpose is to allow normal and fighting type moves to affect ghost types, which is a super niche situation which you rarely ever come across. This is literally the first time I ever needed to use it in my life. So I just thought it'd be fun to put it in here. And now we're in Eterna City, and oh, I wonder who this blue-haired fellow is. I sure hope this isn't foreshadowing an epic yet dangerous climactic battle, oh no. And oh, I wonder who this blonde-haired fellow is. I sure hope this isn't foreshadowing another epic yet dangerous climactic battle, oh no. Now we got the Gardenia fight, and she's a joke. I mean, Mordecai's a huge type advantage, and a powerful, super effective move, and is over-leveled. It's no contest. We get an easy win. You are the first, and you will be the last. Basically, immediately after that, we get the Commander Jupiter fight. She opens with another Zubat, and we just switch and take care of it easy like last time, but we don't get poisoned. And now we got our ace, a skunk tank to deal with, and I make the foolish decision to not heal, and Mordecai almost dies. If that was a crit, Mordecai would have been dead. Thankfully, the Roark Slayer is able to take the attacks way better, and after enough time, he just takes him out. And god, I really should have just switched to Roark Slayer to begin with. That was the Commander Jupiter fight. I really gotta think things over with what I'm doing more in the future. Oh, I wonder who this blonde-haired fellow is. I sure hope this isn't foreshadowing an epic yet dangerous climactic battle. Oh no, she also gives me an egg. After this, Mordecai and Roark Slayer just continue to kick ass. He also uses time to level up Weed a little bit so that he can help us catch higher level Pokemon. During our training, Roark Slayer also evolves into his final form. Hell yeah. During said training, Mordecai also almost fucking dies with a random critical hit. Ah, that was scary. During said training, we also get our egg that we were given to hatch. We name it Too Many Egg because motherfuckers say you can never have too many egg, but you know what? I got too many egg. Haha. Because hatched Pokemon are at level 1, I trained Too Many Egg up a little bit because she will be quite useful later on. And here we're given the Versus Seeker, which, oh my god, we use it so much later on. This item is so valuable. Basically, it lets you rebattle old trainers, letting you get as much XP and money as you want from them. Which is a much better grinding option than wild Pokemon, which is what we've been doing up until now. And this one encounter we get is a Ralts, and Ralts is actually a really good Psychic Pokemon, so I'm really excited to catch this guy. What? Now, the next major battle is against Fantina, who's a Ghost-type user. And luckily, both Rourke Slayer and Mordecai can't be affected by Ghost-type moves, which means that she'll have to resort to using weaker moves, but we don't really have anything to attack back with, so I'm giving Rourke Slayer the move Thief, which is good against Ghost-types. And as you can see, it works pretty well. Let's see if that's good enough for the Fantina fight. Opens with a Duskull, not too bad. We almost one-shot it, and it unfortunately burns us, but we're able to take it out in one more hit. After that, she sends out a Haunter, and we one-shot him, but we've taken quite a bit of damage from the burn, so I switch out to Mordecai. Now we're on to our ace, Miss Magius. And she is pretty trolly, and you'll see why in a second. Confuse Ray. And this confusion is gonna have us fucked up for the rest of this fight, man. She's also pretty beefy, a 3-hit KO, so it's gonna take a while to take her out. And so that, combined with the confusion and having to worry about a critical hit from Psybeam, this is gonna suck. And so with Rourke Slayer out of the picture, all I can do is just keep chipping away and keep healing whenever I have to. And eventually, that's good enough. We snap out of confusion and... she's finally dead. Oh my god. So that was the Fantina fight. Rourke Slayer getting burned at the beginning kind of fucked things up, but you know what, we're able to carry on despite that, so not bad. And basically immediately after that we fight Dream again. And as you can see, it's more or less a walk in the park. We barely take any damage, one-shot basically everything. Mordecai and Rourke Slayer are doing really good. After that we unlock another encounter, let's see what it is. And well, this is a bit awkward. That is the evolved form of Budew, which is the Pokemon that Weed is. So there really isn't too much point in catching Roselia here, but I do decide to use Weed to catch it anyways with some paralysis, and it paralyzes me first. How poetic. After that I realized, actually, Too Many Egg would actually be the better Pokemon to use here, because Too Many Egg recently learned Yawn, and Yawn puts Pokemon to sleep, and sleep makes Pokemon way easier to catch than paralysis, so I switch out, and we get Leech Seeded. Oh boy, this Roselia is gonna be very trolly. And another paralysis, it just keeps coming, eh? I switch out again so it stops Leech Seeding Too Many Egg, and then it Leech Seeds again. Nice. But it finally falls asleep, and I can finally start to catch it. And so we catch it, and I begin to think, Too Many Egg is now more useful than Weed for catching Pokemon, so maybe I should stop using Weed. And then I thought the Roselia I caught here, she's quite trolly, just like our boy Weed, and the more I think about it, I think, instead of just putting Weed in the box forever, and if we give him a better ending than that, as thanks for helping us all this way, I think that'd be really appropriate. So I decide to ship these two lovebirds together so that they can live happily ever after, and as such, I give her an appropriate name, Cannabis. Cannabis and Weed, a love story for the ages. I hope you two have a happy life together. Thank you for everything, Weed. You've been incredible. Now it's just Mordecai, Rourke Slayer, and Too Many Egg. And look at what this game does to me now. I'm forced to kill fucking PICHU, the best Pokemon, objectively best Pokemon in the world. How dare it? How dare this game do this? I am personally offended. Well, that sucked. Okay, but Mordecai and... Oh! I'm done. I'm done! Okay. There's a fucking Nuzlocke! And so after that, too many egg evolves! Hell yeah. And another notable moment here. I forget to heal Rorkslayer after a tough battle, and yeah, thank god he didn't get hit here. Oh my god. Also, one of our encounters here is the Kadabra, which is actually a really, really good psychic Pokemon, so I really want to catch this guy. And so, I yawn him with too many egg, and he uses Kinesis, that's whatever. And after this, I send in Mordecai to do a quick attack, which should do very little damage. I just want to get him down to the red or something so that I can catch him easier. And he's dead. Great. Okay, so here's a random battle, right? And Croagunk, he's easy for Rorkslayer. He can't do anything against him. All his moves are not very effective. Don't do anything. And so I get him down to half, just one more hit to kill him. And watch what he does. Swagger, he confuses me. I hit myself in confusion once. Okay, I'm thinking, okay, fine, I'll just hit him one more time. I hit myself again, and I'm thinking, you know what, there's no way I'm going to hit myself 3 times. The chances of that are super unlikely. He can't do anything against me, I'm safe. I can't believe it. I was so I could have healed. I could have healed and avoided all... Better yet, I could have just switched into Mordecai and he could have done this. Easy. This was so stupid, avoidable, and all I had to do was think for a second. I was getting too caught up. I should have just stopped and thought about what I was doing. Rorkslayer is dead now. It's literally all my fault. And look what I get. The fist plate. You know who that item would have been perfect for. Literally perfect. Rorkslayer. And without the type coverage that Rorkslayer provides, certain Pokemon, like this Drifblim, become pretty dangerous for Mordecai. So even though she's not supposed to be used for regular battles, I gotta risk it and use Too Many Egg to help Mordecai now. So thank god Too Many Egg is able to make it out just fine. She did great. So, after fighting our way back to safety, we gotta put him to rest. He saved our asses on the first gym and made the third one way easier. Things are gonna get harder now without Rorkslayer. I'm glad we had him for the time we did. So, without Rorkslayer, we got a pretty big hole in our type coverage. Mordecai will get destroyed by rock, ice, or electric types. So we need a Pokemon that can handle these 3 types like Rorkslayer could. And I have an idea. It's a mythical Pokemon that can only be caught in this one area back in the game, and I made sure not to visit this place in case I needed him later on. It's Rotom. We're gonna have to do a bit of backtracking, as you can see, and I think he's one of our best options right now. He may not have the best stats, but he starts out at a solid level 20, and he's an electric ghost type, meaning he straight up can't get hurt by normal or fighting moves, while resisting electric moves, which is what we need to help with the coverage with Mordecai. It can also pretty well deal with rock and ice types for Mordecai as well. There's also a water type gym coming up relatively soon, Crash or Wake, so he'll be perfect for that. I've also never really used ghost types before, and the whole point of this challenge is to start using Pokemon that you usually wouldn't have, so I think it's in the spirit of the challenge. I also think having a mythical Pokemon on your team would also just be pretty cool. And so here we are at the Eterna Forest. Gardenia's just chilling here, so once she leaves, we got the old chateau all to ourselves, and we'll catch Rotom. And I'm just saving on my emulator here before we go in. And right here I'm just setting up my party to be able to catch Pokemon better, and as such I teach Bruce Wayne False Swipe, which will never kill a Pokemon but leave them with 1 HP, making them perfect to catch. And I also make a mistake, accidentally forgetting Quick Attack, which I didn't want to do, so I just redo it. That's one of the reasons why I save. Also remember, we can still only catch our first encounter, so I decided to use a Super Repel so that I don't get any encounters until Rotom, which is who I'm here for. Alright, so here he is, the secret spot I never knew about when I was little. Rotom! So my plan here is very simple. I use too many egg to yawn him to sleep, and then I use Bruce Wayne to false swipe him to 1 HP, and then it should be a relatively easy catch. And thankfully, even with the crit, Rotom can't do too much damage or over level too many egg. But it turns out my dumbass forgot something. So normal type moves don't affect Ghost Pokemon, and guess what? False Swipe is a normal type move, so it's actually useless. Oh boy. But I try to catch him anyway and just see how it goes. And yikes, Bruce Wayne almost dies. If that was a crit, it would have been over for him. Yeah, this fight is not going well. And also, let's talk about the move Uproar, which Rotom is using. So, when you use Uproar, it locks you into the move, so you have to keep using it for a certain amount of turns afterwards, and while Uproar is on, you can't fall asleep, which kinda sucks for us, because we got no leverage to catch him with. And just to be extra trolly, he decides to confuse us. And now, on top of all that, he decides to use Double Team. And now it's less likely for me to hit him. And luckily I do hit him, but oh my god, this guy is so trolly. And now, after going through all that, we finally get him. Now that I finally got him, I call him Plasma. And now our job is to train up Plasma to a good level, and so this is where the Versus Seeker comes in. You can re-battle trainers, and so there's 4 fishermen here on the dock, and I just keep battling them, keep getting XP, and with them, getting Plasma up to a good level isn't that bad. And soon after that, Mordecai evolves into his final form. And this is also where Mordecai gets access to a really good move. It's Close Combat, a fighting type move that does tons of damage. It does have the downside of decreasing your defense and special defense, but we can totally work around that. And this move will become very useful later on. And after looking it up, I figure out that evolving Bruce Wayne is actually super easy. You literally just give him an item and just level him up 1 time. That's it. Now, while I do this training, I do discover that Plasma has one big issue. You see, Mordecai gets absolutely destroyed by electric type, so I wanted Plasma to deal with him. And although he resists electric moves and doesn't take a lot of damage, he can barely do any damage back to electric type, so this is the moment I realized we need a ground type to deal with electric types, and so I decided to train up Bruce Wayne as well, so we can take advantage of his ground typing. And so I go exploring, looking for places where Bruce Wayne can train, and our encounter for this route is a Barrel, the evolved version of Bidoof. And although Bidoof is already our HM slave, this guy's a much higher level and more evolved, and although he's still not a very good Pokemon, I do take him in, and he is now HM slave number 2. Oh, holy shit, look at this. Oh my god, look at what our next encounter is. It's PICHU! Yes! PICHU's stats suck ass, but you know what? I don't care, it's just my special little girl. I'm so sorry I have to hurt you. I used the one and only Premier Ball in the game to catch her because she's special. And please catch her. I can't bear to see her in pain anymore. Please catch her. Please, please. Yes! Fuck yeah! I don't dare forsake the PICHU name, so I name her PICHU. I love you. I am so happy that we were able to get a PICHU, dude. Okay, we're definitely keeping PICHU on our team at all times. She will not see any combat. Don't you dare let her see any combat. Don't let her get hurt. She is so precious. Look at her. I love her. Oh my god. She is so pure that she literally has no attacking move. She couldn't hurt you if she wanted to. Alright, so after all that, meeting new friends, training up a ton, I think we're finally ready to defeat. She opens with Meditite, and since Plasma is a ghost type, he takes her out with ease. We also get a lucky stat boost from Ominous Wind. Now, at this point, it would be better to send in Mordecai, but I do want to take advantage of Plasma's stat boost, and we have to take out a Machoke. Without Workstar, things are much harder, but with the power of friendship, things aren't that bad. And now we got Maylene's ace, Lucario. I think Mordecai kinda needs to be here for this one. Lucario is part steel, so close combat, the move that we just got, would be perfect, and it's a one-shot. And the special defense and defense drop don't even matter, because we're done the battle. So that was Maylene. I think Plasma has proved himself. After that, we get the HM for Fly. That'll make travel a lot easier. And I decide to give Fly to Too Many Eggs so she can have an actually good attacking move. And now we got the next rival battle, and with Plasma and Mordecai, it's easy. One-shotting everything once again. Now, let's talk about Plasma's move Uproar for a minute. Remember when I said once you use it, it locks you into using the move over and over for a few turns? Well, during that time, you can't switch out, and you can't heal. You're stuck using Uproar, and if you accidentally use it on a powerful Pokemon, and remember when I said I want to use Plasma to fight the water-type gym coming up? Well, the gym leader for that gym was literally right after that battle Plasma died at. Well, now we don't have anything that's good against water types. Mordecai can't do this alone. We need another electric Pokemon, and who's that going to be? It's sure as hell not going to be PICHU, let me tell you that, but there is one other electric Pokemon we have that we caught a while ago. Do you remember Static? Yeah, he's gonna become, pretty soon to run, very, very useful. But first, we gotta do a fuck ton of training. Because right now he's at level 4, and he needs to be in the 30s to stand a chance against Crash or Wake. Rest in peace, Plasma. Pretty soon into his training, Static evolves once. But after that, I start to realize how slow it's going to be training up a Pokemon from level 4 into the 30s. The Versus Seeker makes it easier, don't get me wrong, but it still takes a while. I also figure, since I'm doing a lot of grinding right now, I decide to train here in front of this mansion, because the trainers here are rich as fuck, and when you beat them, they give you tons of money, so from this point forward, money won't ever really be a problem for us again. I'm also getting really bored of grinding over and over, so I'm trying to find new places to grind, change things up a bit to make things less boring, but oh my god, this is just taking so long to train him up. At least I get to torment some children in the process. And then Static evolves into his final form. I think he's almost ready. And I say almost because there's one more thing I think Static can get that will make him unstoppable in the next gym battle. And that's what's probably the best electric move in the entire game, Thunderbolt. It does tons of damage and it has 100% accuracy, but there's only one way to get it, and that's by buying it with casino coins, and the slots in Pokemon games are notoriously just really annoying to get any coins from, so I decided to use my vast amount of wealth to just straight up buy all the casino coins we need, and that takes a while, but when we get them, we can finally buy it, Thunderbolt. I think Static's ready. It's time for us to avenge Plasma. It's time to fight! Wait, it's just Wake? I thought it was Crash or Wake. Okay, never mind. He opens with Gyarados, who's an easy one-shot with Thunderbolt. And next he sends out Quagsire, and this puts a wrench in my plans a little bit, because Quagsire is part ground, which means electric moves don't affect it, so I switch into Mordecai and hope that his really powerful close combat can one-shot it. and it doesn't one-shot, which is really bad because now our defenses is down, so we're really vulnerable, and thank God he only uses the on and non-damaging move. We just gotta use close combat one more time, and he's gone. That was close. Mordecai's asleep, and that should be totally fine because Static should be able to take care of the rest of the fight easily. And that's exactly what happens. Static one-shots the Float Soul, and we're done. That didn't go perfectly, but we got a good-ass electric Pokemon with a good-ass electric move, and against a water-type gym leader, we did pretty good. Also, can we talk about the plot of this game for a second? This fucking guy does a fucking terrorist attack by blowing up a bomb in the middle of the Safari Zone. Like, what the fuck was Game Freak thinking? Putting this shit into a fucking kids game, what the hell? So anyways, we go along, and oh, I wonder who this blonde-haired fellow is. I sure hope this isn't foreshadowing an epic yet dangerous climactic battle. Oh no. Oh, and here she is again. I wonder who this blonde-haired fellow is. I sure hope this isn't foreshadowing. And sorry to keep talking about this, but the plot of this game is fucking ridiculous, dude. This guy's now threatening to blow up the entire town with a bomb, terrorist detection. What the fuck? Well, anyways, we got more plot stuff to do, and oh, I wonder who this blue-haired fellow is. Okay, I've got to stop doing that. And we actually do battle him right now, but even though I've been hyping up a lot, his team is not even close to full power right now, so we can pretty easily sweep through his team, which you'll see in a second. As you might see on the bottom though, we are going to battle him 2 times after this. The next time we battle will be pretty uneventful, just like this one. But the last one, oh my god, the last one, that will actually be the climactic and epic battle, or whatever I said before, I forget now. One thing happens here though that really surprises me. This Murkrow almost kills Static. If that was a crit, Static would be dead. But anyways, we get Surf, which opens up a ton of the map for us, so we're gonna get to doing some grinding now. Oh, I wonder who anyways, so we need to teach Pokemon Surf now, and HM Slave has been awesome so far, but unfortunately she can't learn Surf. So we're gonna replace her with HM Slave 2, who can learn Surf. And I didn't want to just leave HM Slave in the box like everybody else. I want to give her a nice little vacation of sorts. A happy ending like Weed and Canvas. So, HM Slave, you're done being a slave. You're on vacation now, bud. I hope you have a good time there in that tropical area in that box there. Oh, this is so stupid. Now, while we're exploring the new areas that Surf gives us access to, I encounter this Sudowoodo, who was my first encounter for this route, so I try to catch him. And this battle, oh my god. So this motherfucker starts off by using Block, which makes it so that Too Many Egg can't leave the battle, so I can't switch her out. She's stuck in here with this fucking Sudowoodo, and this is really bad, because Sudowoodo is basically the same level as me, and is at a type advantage, and I can barely do any damage, so I can't kill the Sudowoodo to save our ass. So the only way to get out of this battle alive is to catch this thing, and we can't do a lot of damage, so catching it is going to be hard as hell, because it's going to be stuck at full HP basically. And not only that, I don't have a ton of Pokeballs to use, so I'm just desperately throwing Pokeballs at this point, praying to RNGesus, please, please spare Too Many Egg. And now that Sudowoodo's awake, now I gotta balance keeping Too Many Egg on fucking life support basically, and trying to catch this. It's, oh my god, this battle was super tense. Oh my god. So yeah, this entire battle is basically just me desperately trying to keep Too Many Egg alive from this murderous fucking Sudowoodo. And now our speed fell, which is gonna make this even harder. And by the way, if that was a crit, Too Many Egg would have been dead. And now we're down to my last Ultra Ball. If this doesn't catch it, oh my god, yep. It's probably over now. I only got shitty Great Balls left. The chances are just even lower now. Oh my god! Too Many Egg survives! Fuck yeah! I don't even care that I caught the Pokemon at this point. I'm just happy that Too Many Egg is alive, and I named the Sudowoodo Actually Evil, because this motherfucker is actually evil. Oh my god. Alright, so after that stressful mess, and some grinding done, we got our next rival battle. And thanks to all the grinding we can do now because of Surf, battle was pretty light. Not much to say, we swept through the whole team pretty easily. And now we get to do a pretty interesting part of the game, Iron Island. Here we team up with this Riley guy and we gotta get through what's basically a dungeon with some difficult trainers and wild Pokemon to deal with. And let me show you the biggest issue with Pokemon here. Self-destruct and explosion. They basically kill the opponent's Pokemon, but in return they do a ton of damage to you. So that's kind of not good for us, because now we basically gotta battle Suicide Bombers. Usually in a normal playthrough this is just an annoyance, but in a Nuzlocke with Permadeath, yeah, it's a problem. Luckily though, Bruce Wayne has Dig, and while he's underground with Dig, he can't get hurt by any moves. So, if they explode while he's below ground, we should be good. Now, that does mean Bruce Wayne's gonna carry, and so I try to get my other Pokemon involved, which, as you can see, was a pretty big mistake. Static almost died battling, Mordecai is gonna get hurt a lot here, Bruce Wayne is just gonna have to carry. One good thing about Iron Island though is that we find a shiny stone, which allows 2-Minute Egg to finally evolve into her final form. I'm really glad she got to live long enough to get to this point. And now that we're done Iron Island, Riley gives us an egg with a really good fighting type inside it. The next gym is a steel type gym, and we don't really have an answer to steel types yet, so this egg was a bit of a blessing since fighting's good against steel. Only one problem though. It's an egg, meaning this Pokemon will start out at level 1, and I am going to have to grind and get this thing all the way up to level 40, I think. Like, if you thought Static was a bad grind, oh my god. This is bad. But before that, I named this little guy Byron Slayer because the next gym is Byron, who is coincidentally Rourke's dad. So, you know, Rourke Slayer was a fighting type, and this is also a fighting type who's gonna fuck up Rourke's dad, so I thought, hey, Byron Slayer, you know, kind of poetic, hopefully he doesn't die like Rourke Slayer did. And so the grinding begins. And this time around, one of the big problems I'm having with grinding is that since I've unlocked a ton of new areas, there are now much better grinding areas. These better grinding areas are also more dangerous though, so I have to play a pretty stressful balancing act between getting a good amount of XP so I don't bore myself to death, but also a grinding place where my Pokemon won't accidentally fucking die. And you'll see this right here, because Iron Island is fantastic for XP. It makes grinding way easier, but remember those Suicide Bomber Pokemon I was talking about? Well, they come back here, and fuck, I definitely can't grind here, Jesus Christ. Despite Byron Slayer almost dying before I even get to use him, I do get into a rhythm and we do start grinding away pretty alright. But then this grinding area too proves to be too dangerous, and Byron Slayer almost dies again! And this took forever, but finally, Byron Slayer learns a really good move, Aura Sphere, and this allows him to kick ass in the area that almost killed him before, and I think we're finally ready to take on the big boy, Byron. Byron Slayer shows promise as he absolutely kicks ass with the gym's trainers. So with all that preparation done, let's see how we do against... And well, this is pretty anticlimactic. One shot, one shot, one shot. Byron Slayer absolutely wipes his team. So I am really glad I trained up Byron Slayer, because without him, I don't think this gym would have been so easy, and he will also just be generally an awesome Pokemon to have later on. And after we beat him, Byron gives us a really good TM for Byron Slayer, Flash Cannon, and I would give it to him now, but I want to save it for later in the game in case Byron Slayer dies. That's just part of the strategy for Nuzlocke, unfortunately. Because the reality is, anybody can die at any time, so you don't want to lose a really valuable move because of an accident. And now we do some more plot stuff, and oh my god, I don't know what's wrong with this game. You wanna know what happens? You wanna know what fucking happens? Team Galactic does another terrorist attack. This is a kid's game! And guess who? Guess fucking who they decide to get to investigate the fucking terrorist attack? Me! A 10-year-old kid! What the fuck? But anyways, at the site of the explosion, we meet Commander Saturn. And he's an easy sweep as well. We just got a really good team right now. We got 4 active Pokemon, they got fantastic type coverage, and they're all just good Pokemon in general. When together, there's not much that can hurt my team. And the next fight is Commander Mars. Exact same story. Easy sweep. And also, PICHU is now at max happiness, which means that every time PICHU levels up, she's gonna try to evolve into PICHU, which would be a travesty. So I stop the evolution every time it happens. You'll see that a few times, I think, throughout this run. But having 4 active Pokemon is a little bit of a problem because our team can only hold 6. And on top of my 4 active Pokemon, I have too many egg for catching Pokemon who I want to stick around. I have PICHU, who absolutely has to stick around because I love her. She can't leave my side. But we also have HM Slave 2, who we need to get around HM barriers throughout the map. So I decide to leave Mordecai behind. So hopefully Static, Bruce Wayne, and Byron Slayer can handle themselves on this upcoming route. We'll see you soon, Mordecai. I hope you enjoy your little vacation. And while we head to the route, we get this encounter, a Graveler. And remember those suicide bombing Pokemon back on Iron Island? Well, they're back. And yeah, we just almost lost too many egg again. Never again will we try to catch a Graveler. Oh my god. And by the way, I absolutely fucking love the music on this route. Listen to this. On this snowy route, we also get an Ice-type encounter, Snornut, and this little guy will be pretty useful later on. And we decide to name him Blanky Man, because man in a blankie. Now, one issue on this route is hail, and it's a weather effect that will happen no matter what, which is basically you lose a little bit of HP to the environment every turn. Despite that though, we're able to make it through alright. As we go on though, I begin to remember how long this route is, and as we begin to run out of healing items, the route's starting to wear down on my team. We are still winning here, but trudging through the snow here, not that easy. Especially without Mordecai, but we're coming to the end, and finally, we get out. And the first thing I do is come to a Pokemon Center to get Mordecai back, and oh my god, buddy, I've missed you. Welcome back to the team. I hope you like winter. You are the first, and you will be the last. And so, we've traveled all this way. It's finally time to fight. Now, Byron Slayer is good against Ice types, so the first 3 Pokemon are easy wipes. Absolutely no issue. The problem comes after them though. Her ace, Frostlass, and Frostlass is an ice ghost type, so Byron Slayer can't affect her, as you can see right here. And as you can see, she's also using double team, so once I switch out, she can use that one more time probably, and it's gonna be super hard to hit her. Yep, there we go. This is gonna suck. If either Plasma or Rock Slayer were still here, this would be so much easier. Now, she's double teamed so much, it's almost impossible to hit her now, but Bruce Wayne and Mordecai are both flying types, and they have Aerial Ace. Aerial Ace hits every single time, so the double team won't matter. The problem is, though, they're flying types, which means they're really weak to ice types, so putting them in will mean I'll definitely be able to hit them, but I'll also be putting them in a ton of danger. So right now, I'm thinking of what the hell I should be doing right now. And I decide to keep Static on life support and make sure he stays in. Why? Because I want Frostlass to use all her available blizzards. And once she's out, she won't really be able to hit Mordecai or Bruce Wayne too badly. So, we're gonna lure out those blizzards, even though it's risking a crit, which means Static would die, but there's not much else we can do right now. We just gotta pray and hope that RNGesus is merciful. And thankfully he is. Frostlass is using double team again, which means she's run out of blizzards. So I just go for a crunch, see if I can hit, and I do, which is ridiculously lucky, so RNGesus really likes us today. But I realize that with so many double teams, I really can't hit her. So, knowing that it'll be safe, I throw out Bruce Wayne to give her that Aerial Ace KO. And not only does she outspeed, but she also almost kills Bruce Wayne. If that was a crit, we would have died, and he doesn't even KO her. She has like 1 HP left. This is ridiculous. So I heal Bruce Wayne. We gotta hit one more time, and oh my god, Candace heals Frostlass. This is gonna really suck. At least we can hit her now, though. And after almost dying again, we finally take out Frostlass. Holy shit. If that Frostlass crit us even once, the entire run would have been over. Our team would have gotten wiped. This was brutal. Oh my god. And I was just talking about a minute ago about how unstoppable our team is, and we almost get wiped out of fucking nowhere. That's the fun of a Nuzlocke, though, I guess. Your luck can turn in an instant if you're not careful. And so after that, we gotta do more plot stuff, and oh, I wonder who this blue-haired fellow is. I sure hope this isn't foreshadowing. Anyways, we battle Cyrus again, and once again, his team's a joke, and we pretty easily wipe him. But his third and final battle? Fuck, dude. That shit hits different. Also, I just want to point out this moment here, because I think this moment's super cool. You defeat Cyrus, and you go into his secret lab, steal all the terrible experiments he does. Then we finish off one of the men behind it once and for all, Commander Saturn, and once again he's just an absolute easy wipe. Nothing to really talk about here. After that, though, we're on our way to finish off Team Galactic once and for all, and on our way we get this encounter. This is a pretty decent psychic and fighting type, and we name it Thick Thighs for obvious reasons. I mean, come on, look at this thing. After that, though, we continue to climb up Mount Coronet and beat Team Galactic's ass along the way. But even though things are easy for now, Team Galactic is at the top of this mountain at their full power, ready to fuck me up. So I gotta be really careful in this next part. And right before the Team Galactic climax, this is my team. And yes, PICHU is at a higher level than everybody else on my team, even though she's never in battles because she deserves it, goddammit. Anyways, let's do this. These grunts at the gate are absolutely a non-problem, just like everybody else. Easy wipe. And so we fearlessly go forward. But then, out of nowhere, our rival Dream comes out of nowhere to help us. Okay, you know, it's kind of wholesome to see Dream and Shit-Ass fighting side by side. So the first part of the fight is pretty easy. And then out of nowhere, who the fuck gave this skunk tank a flamethrower? So if that was a crit, Byron Slayer would have died. That's kind of terrifying. We are definitely going to switch out now. And thankfully, the rest of the fight is pretty uneventful. Nice. So I'm really glad we didn't lose Byron Slayer because we're going to need everything we got for the upcoming final Cyrus fight. And then Dream heals us. Thank you very much. And then I guess Cyrus just decides to summon the shit out of like everything in existence. This whole sequence is ridiculous. Look at this. Oh my god. And then you got the big villain monologue. Blah blah blah. And then the big bad portal shows up with the big bad Pokemon. And then the portal to the distorted world opens up. And once we go in there, there's no going back. It's time to finish off Cyrus once and for all. He opens with Houndoom, and Houndoom is a fire and dark type, so Byron Slayer can probably one-shot him, but if he outspeeds us, then he'll one-shot us. And that's exactly what happens. And just like that, all those hours of grinding, gone. And we haven't even touched him yet. And so I send in Mordecai. Mordecai is able to one-shot Houndoom, and I should have done this to begin with, looking back. I'm starting to realize how detrimental the fact that I don't stop and think about what I'm doing is sometimes, because if I just stopped and thought about what I was doing, I could have easily saved Rourke Slayer's life and here Byron Slayer's. But we still got the rest of the battle to go through. Let's see how it goes. Mordecai could probably one-shot Weavile, but Weavile is an ice type, so Mordecai could probably pretty easily get one-shot by this Weavile, so I switch out. Cyrus's Pokemon are also at a really high level now, matching mine, and because of this, his Weavile outspeeds me, and as you can see here, that makes doing damage against the Weavile pretty hard. We also gotta use tons of healing items here to keep Static alive. And it takes a long time, but eventually we're finally able to grind down the Weavile, and on to the next one. Next up is Gyarados, and Static should be able to easily one-shot Gyarados, but just in case it outspeeds me, I do decide to heal first, and this is where our troubles begin. Gyarados does a whopping half of our HP in just one attack. This is really bad. I'm still not sure if he'll outspeed us, and if he does, Static is dead, and nobody else on my team can really deal with Gyarados, so our entire team might well be wiped. So if I can't attack, and Static is the only Pokemon I can really use against Gyarados, what do I do? Maybe I could just keep healing Static until Gyarados runs out of waterfalls, but if he crits us, we're dead. And if we're taking on that many waterfalls, there's a really good chance that we're gonna get crit at least once. So what do? Are we just fucked now? Well, as you can see here, I'm on the battle items screen, and I'm thinking of something. And I usually never use battle items because they take up an entire turn, and they just give you a slight stat increase in one area, but this might be one situation where these long neglected items might actually have used. If we increase Static's defense here, she'll be able to survive 2 waterfalls rather than 1, giving us enough time to attack. And all we need is for this not to be a critical hit. If this next attack from Gyarados isn't a crit, we'll defeat it. I never thought I'd use a battle item though, but if Static gets crit right here, the whole run is over. Oh my god, thank the fucking lord. Alright, get the fuck out of here, Gyarados, you're done! And the rest of the Pokemon are just basically his old team members, and they're all easy one-shots for Static. Absolutely no problems. And there you go. Cyrus is gone. We lost Byron Slayer in the beginning, but after that, I stopped and thought things through, and we saved our team from getting wiped. We're not done yet though. We got one more fight left. The Giratina fight. And usually in a playthrough I would catch him, but if you can remember in the beginning I said no legendaries, so we can't catch him, so we gotta kill him. Now, Static has Crunch, which is super effective against Giratina, so I plan on using Crunch to take it out here. Static also shouldn't be weak to any of Giratina's attacks, so we should be good. And wow, that was super lucky. We got a defense drop and a critical hit, but that might not matter in a second because he just disappeared, and I think he's about to do a really powerful attack, so we use Charge to increase our special defense, and we should be able to survive the next attack. Holy shit, that's a lot of damage. That was with a special defense increase, and it wasn't even a crit. Oh my god. Well, we crunch it one more time and it's gone, but if that was a crit, Static would be gone out of nowhere. But we're done risking Static's life for today. We are now done the Distortion world. We can finally get out. And the first place I go to is the Pokemon Center, because unfortunately, we got somebody we gotta put away. It was really nice having a fighting type in our team again, but unfortunately, Byron Slayer's gone the way of Rourke Slayer. And as a result of my own stupidity, he's gone. Just like when we lost Rourke Slayer, things are gonna get harder now. And I cannot afford to be careless and not think things through like I've been doing. So now we gotta get our way to the last gym, which is Electric type, and on our way, we find this guy, who is trying to beat the game with only Pikachu. That might be an interesting challenge. But anyways, we continue to fight our way to the last town, and it sucks to not have Byron Slayer as an option to fight anymore. But anyways, Mordecai gets access to a really interesting move here, Brave Bird. It does a ton of damage, but it does a ton of recoil damage to the user. And I'm really not sure if I should use this or not, because doing damage to myself could be pretty detrimental in a permadeath run, but it does do a lot of damage. And I do decide to keep it, which I'm really thankful for, because it actually does become incredibly useful later on. Anyways, on to the last and final gym leader, an Electric type. Bruce Wayne is the only one on our team who knows ground type moves, which is the only type that's super effective against Electric, so I'm hoping he's going to be able to carry for us. And after one-shotting his first Pokemon, it looks like that's what we'll be able to do, but then, watch this. We almost one-shot, and who the fuck gave Luxray Ice Fang? We lost another fucking one. Oh my god. And in the middle of the most difficult gym battle is the wrong time for that to happen. Oh my god. Even though Mordecai could easily get one-shot by all the Pokemon here, I do decide to use Mordecai so that it can use Quick Attack and just finish him off, but that doesn't happen because he heals, and so I send in Static. I didn't really want to use Static either because he's basically equal in strength to all these guys, and can't really do a ton of damage back, so this is going to be a struggle. Finally, his Luxray is gone, but he's got 2 more Pokemon left, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do for them. And I really should have healed here because I almost died to a Fire Punch. If that was a more powerful move, or if it was a crit, would have been dead. God, why can't I just stop and think? But I do get my act together, and thanks to me being careful, I'm able to survive a crit, even if just barely. And I do a crit myself. And the Electrifier is gone. Just one more now. His ace, PICHU. Luckily he seems pretty harmless until it turns out he has Focus Blast, and we get a special defense drop. That's really bad. And we get paralyzed now. And again, I was being unnecessarily risky here. What I should have done is just switched out to MORDICAI, who would have been able to take the Focus Blast just fine, and then keep switching between MORDICAI and the Static until he ran out of PP for Focus Blast, but we do still take him out. And we now have every single gym badge, but at this point, we've lost half our team in 2 separate battles, and our type coverage is really bad now. And with the hardest parts of the game coming up, with the last rival battle and the entire Pokemon League, our team of just 2 Pokemon will not be able to cut it, unfortunately. And so, instead of just charging through the game without thinking, I finally stop, sit down, and think about what the hell I should do. And I decide to sit down and map out the perfect team to take on the Pokemon League with. Now luckily, I've caught quite a few Pokemon that I've never had to use up until now. I don't have an infinite amount of Pokemon, but the amount I do have gives me a good amount of flexibility to plan out a good balanced team that will be good against every single type. And so I look at this type chart and I plan it out. And after a lot of thinking and a lot of planning, I come up with 3 new team members that will give us a really good type balance, and that I think will have a pretty solid chance at beating the Pokemon League. And so who are these 3? 1, Kidney Stone, the Geodude I caught like basically at the beginning of the game. Then 2, Blanky Man, that ice type that I caught on that snowy route. And 3, Thick Thighs, that weird ass guy I caught on Mount Coordinate while beating up Team Galactic. MORDICAI will deal with grass, bug, and fighting types. Static will deal with water and flying types. Kidney Stone will deal with fire, electric, poison, rock, and steel type Pokemon. Blanky Man will deal with ground and dragon types. And Thick Thighs will deal with normal, ice, and dark types. All that leaves is Ghost and Psychic, which Static can deal with Crunch. There's just one small problem though. We have to level everyone up. And to do that, we have to grind a lot. Because we gotta get 3 different Pokemon to level 50 fucking 5. And that takes so long. Oh my god. At a certain point, I just gave up. And I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna watch YouTube in the background while I mindlessly just grind away with the XP share. This took so ridiculously long. And this is why I'm so glad we got the Versus Seeker. Because without it, this would have taken so much longer, but still, oh my god, this took so ridiculously long. Each Pokemon was their own, like, hour-long grind to get. I spent hours grinding these guys up to level 55 here. This was crazy. And I'm not kidding. Hours. In fact, by the end of this, I've battled the trainer so much that I've literally maxed out my money. I don't know if I've ever done that before. Fuck, dude, this is ridiculous. But eventually, after a lot of time, Kidney Stone evolves and gets to level 55. Blanky Man evolves, gets to level 55, and Thick Thighs doesn't need to evolve. He's already in his final form and gets to level 55. And this is what our final team looks like. The only thing stopping us from beating this challenge are now Victory Road, the final rival battle with Dream, and the Pokemon League. But first, I take a look at Kidney Stone, and he has a really interesting ability, which is kind of broken, and his ability prevents him from taking any recoil damage, which means all those super powerful moves with the one drawback being that you take a bunch of recoil damage means nothing to Kidney Stone. He can learn really powerful moves without taking recoil damage. And so I teach him Double Edge, a 120 power normal move that he can use freely. I think we're finally ready. Now unfortunately, I do have to leave PICHU in the PC box for just a little bit here, because I need HM Slave to get us through Victory Road, and I really want everybody to be with us so that we can handle everything. I'm really sorry, PICHU, please forgive me. I'll take you back soon, please, I'm sorry. Also, Static is level 69, nice. So, let's see how our new boys do on the trainers on Victory Road. First, we're doing pretty good. Kidney Stone is doing pretty good. Blanky Man is doing pretty good. And Thick Thighs also doing pretty good, but then I realized something. Even though we have really good type coverage, that's not enough, and as you can see, Thick Thighs almost died there to just a random neutral move. So I quickly come to the realization, unless I want a random Pokemon to just crit one of my guys and kill them, I need to start looking up what each and every trainer has as their Pokemon, because otherwise they could just one-shot me out of nowhere. So at this point, I gotta look at every battle up ahead and make sure that they're good before I go into battle. And also right here you can just see me giving Thick Thighs Psychic, which is a really good Psychic move that I forgot to give him earlier. And with all this, and with very careful planning, because there were quite a few times where if I just went blind into the battle, I probably would have gotten destroyed. And this whole challenge would have been over right here, right before the Pokemon League. There were so many super tough trainers, and I had to heal after every single battle. It was super exhausting. It's just one after another, after another, after another, and then... everyone made it out alive. And there were many moments where I thought that wouldn't be the case, but here we are. We've been very lucky to make it this far, despite my not thinking things through. But I've learned better. And now, I'm pretty confident in our team. And I think that we can win this. That we can beat the Platinum Nuzlocke. But right before the Pokemon League, we got the last rival fight, and it is just as tough as all the other battles on Victory Road, and I really should have done my research again, as you can see right here, because again, there are moves that his Pokemon have that I just do not expect that are super powerful, but despite that, we can pick ourselves back up and we beat him. We've beat Dream for the last time, and now there's just one thing left, the Pokemon League, and we are done. And since these are the last series of fights, I decided to put all my money into making my team as powerful as it possibly can be, and I definitely learned my lesson from the Cyrus fight, and I am buying lots of battle items in case I need them. And it's really great that I have tons of money now, because now I can spend all my money on super expensive vitamins that can increase everybody's stats up to as high as they possibly can be. I'm also stocking up on as many healing items as I can possibly ever need, and because I have a ton of money now, I can do that. I also organize my bag, throwing out everything I don't absolutely need, and organize everything so that everything is accessible and easy to get. And also, remember when I said I want to save my most powerful TM moves for later in the game in case somebody dies? Well, we're at the end of the game now, so I'm taking all my most powerful TM moves and giving them to everybody. Everybody's gonna have absolutely awesome move sets, so we're gonna be able to do a good amount of damage against the Pokemon League. But wait, there is more. I also saved all of my rare candies for the very end of the game so I could level up everybody as much as I can right at the end here. I also decide to look at my items and give everybody the best items for them, which will increase the amount of damage we do just that little bit more. Also, PICHU won't be battling, but I'm sure as hell bringing her with us. She's gonna beat the game with us and I give her a doll, because she's my special little girl and she deserves whatever she wants. So the Pokemon League consists of the Elite Four and the champion Cynthia. And once we beat Cynthia, the challenge is finally done. And yes, this is that other dangerous and climactic or whatever the fuck I said battle that I've been talking about every time we see Cynthia in the game. And so, since these are the last battles in the game, we are gonna have to plan a lot for this. So, the first Elite Four member will be a Bug type, after that a Ground type, then a Fire type, and a Psychic. Bug, Mordicai could probably sweep that pretty easily. Ground, Blanky Man should be able to deal with that quite well. And then Psychic, Static and Blanky Man should be able to both take that one out pretty well. Cynthia, though, isn't as easy to plan for. She notoriously has the most well-balanced team, and as such is probably the most difficult champion in all the Pokemon games, which is why I chose this game, because I wanted a challenge, and also Gen 4 remakes are coming out soon. But I've put a ton of time into my team. I've put everything I can into them, all my money, all my resources, and I hope that's enough. But I have made tons of stupid mistakes, and I'm sure I'm gonna continue to make them as we go into the Pokemon League. So if my team gets wiped and we lose the challenge, I wouldn't be too surprised. But I have faith in the team I built. So enough wasting time. Let's fuck them up. Now, after some thinking, instead of Mordicai, I decided to use BlankyMan to take these guys out, because he can set up Hail on the first Pokemon here, Yanmega, and Hail will boost the power of all Ice-type moves, which will make sweeping through his team much easier. And it'll also help out BlankyMan here specifically, because you know how Hail usually hurts you? Well, BlankyMan has an ability that actually makes Hail heal him, so this will be a really nice setup. But then, unexpectedly, the Yanmega U-turns and switches out, and Scizor is now who we're fighting against. And this is one of the guys that I was kind of scared of, and also the reason why I want to use BlankyMan instead of Mordicai, because I figured the Hail setup here would give us the little extra boost we need to defeat this guy. And so I go for Crunch, and he goes for Iron Head, and it is super effective against us, but we should be fine. Holy shit, that did way more damage than I thought it would. Thankfully though, we outspeed, and just one more Ice Beam is all we need to take out Scizor. Next comes out Heracross, who is just perfect for Mordicai to take out, so I bring out Mordicai. So that's an easy one-shot. But next comes out Drapion, and this is another one of the Pokemon where I wasn't sure what to do, because we don't have any moves that are super effective against it, because it has a weird type combination. So I figured since the Hail is now gone, I should just use my most high-level Pokemon to take this guy out. And that was evidently the right call, because we unexpectedly one-shot him. And the rest of the battle is pretty easy, and that's the first Elite Four member. It was pretty clean except for that one time we almost died, but despite that, I'm feeling pretty good. Next up is the Ground-type Elite Four, and you might remember, way back on the second gym battle against Gardenia, we got this TM Grass Knot, and I thought it was pretty useless, but against a Ground-type user like this one, it might prove to be really useful. So, let's use it. So hopefully with that and BlankyMan, we should be able to take out She opens with a water and ground type Wishcash, which is why I got Grass Knot, because water resists ice, so I want to make sure that we can take care of this guy no problem despite that. And it looks like it's going to be a one-shot. But no, even though it was a critical hit, this guy's defense is just way too high. A Sandstorm starts, and we're going to be in for a tough one. Then unsurprisingly, Bertha heals. But there's not much Wishcash can do against us, so after 3 hits, he's gone. And then we switch out to BlankyMan, and he just wipes her entire team. I mean, it was just that one Wishcash that was the problem. After he was gone, everything else, easy. And so that's Elite Member number 2 down. And with 2 pretty easy battles done, I'm feeling pretty confident in myself. And next up we got the Fire Elite Four. This is the one where I'm hoping Kidney Stone can carry for us with just a little bit of help from other people. Then it shouldn't be too hard to beat. Houndoom, the same Pokemon that took out Byron Slayer. Luckily though, he won't be a problem this time. We Earthquake and one-shot him. But before he does that, he sets up a Sunny Day, and that is going to become a huge problem for us later. After that, we get Mordicai to one-shot Infernape, easy. The next Pokemon, Magmortar, he outspeeds us, but we can one-shot him, and he can't really do anything against us. The only problem move he has is Solar Beam, and that takes 2 turns, so we'll be fine. And... what? What? So, after looking it up, apparently when the sun is out, the Solar Beam only takes 1 move. Fuck, I don't know that. Now I don't know what to do for this fight. After some thinking though, I figure Mordecai should be able to outspeed, and he has one of the most powerful moves out of my entire team, so that should be a one-shot. Alright, let's see what we can do after this, and of course we get a burn. And now Rapidash is coming out, and I'm not sure if Mordecai can outspeed him. And on top of that, if we use Brave Bird again, there's a good chance that we die, so I gotta switch out, but who? And without a type advantage, I just gotta rely on my most powerful Pokemon, and that's it. So I bring out Static, and I'm hoping Thunderbolt is a one-shot just because of how overleveled he is. And we get a crit, hell yeah! And then the Flareon goes down the exact same way with Thunderbolt, and thankfully it misses, so we win. But we've lost Kidney Stone, and I'm not sure how we're gonna do in the coming battles, especially Cynthia without him. Possibly the only reason we won that battle was because we got lucky with a miss and a crit, so I'm really worried now for the last 2 fights. Now, the fact that we don't have Kidney Stone anymore shouldn't matter too much for this next fight, because this is the Psychic type user, and Blanking Man and Static should be able to take him on with Crunch, I'm hoping. He opens with Mr. Mime, who is a one-shot, thank God. Now we got Bronzong to deal with, and he won't be as easy because, as you can see, Crunch doesn't do that much, and we're taking a ton of damage. I try out my other attacking move, Shadow Ball, to see how much that does, and it doesn't do too much. And now it raised its special attack and special defense, so I gotta switch out now. Otherwise, Blanky Man will be gone. And he's been super useful so far, so I really don't want that to happen. Again, I just decide to bring out my strongest Pokemon and throw him at the problem. But this time I'm smarter about it, and I decide to use something that I learned in the Cyrus fight. Use X items. My special defense goes up, and now I can survive Psychics way better. Now that I can survive a lot more attacks, I can safely heal and attack. We almost take it out, and then holy shit, Earthquake! That did not do nearly as much as I thought it would, thank the Lord. Earthquake is a 100 power ground type attack, which is good against Static. So I am both shocked and thankful it did not do more. Glade is a fighting type, so he's an easy one-shot for Brave Bird. I'm looking at Alakazam, and I figure I should be able to one-shot and outspeed with Crunch. I don't outspeed, but thank God he misses with a Focus Blast, which would have a good chance of killing us. God, I am not comfortable with this many close calls, man. Jesus Christ. To my shock and horror, we get outsped again, and Blanky Man almost dies. Like, please, man, let's stop with the close calls! Luckily, though, after we heal and with the help of that defense drop, Crunch one-shots it, and we survive. Oh my god. This does not bode well for Cynthia. This is it. The last fight. Like I said before, Cynthia is infamous for being the most difficult fight in not only this game, but in possibly every other Pokemon game, so fuck, man. I'm a little scared for my boys. My my hands are doing little shakes. If things go south, Pichu might fucking die. That would, oh my god, that would be unacceptable. We have to win this. Alright, Cynthia, bitch. You know what? I got a bone to pick with you. You're the most powerful trainer in this region, and when some maniac decided to try and literally destroy the fucking universe, what did you do? Nothing! You dickhead, you did nothing, while a 10-year-old, literally me, defended the whole ass universe from being destroyed, and while Byron Slayer got killed, you sat on your little arse and did nothing. I'm gonna fuck you up for what you let that motherfucker do to my boy! And now, with my team as powerful as ever, I'm taking you down, bitch! That was a fun line to say. Anyways, she opens with Spiritomb, who has no weakness, so I decide to just open with my most powerful Pokemon. And wow, surprisingly, we almost one-shot. Dark Pulse doesn't do much, so Spiritomb is gone. Bye-bye. But then, unexpectedly, she withdraws her Pokemon. Okay. Garchomp is ground type, so Thunderbolt doesn't do anything. He's also good against static, so I really want to switch out right now. I figure Garchomp is probably going to use the ground type move because that's good against static, so I switch into Mordecai, who doesn't get affected by ground moves because he's a flying type. And it works. We avoid an earthquake, which very well could have killed static. I decide to be safe and use Aerial Ace, and ooh, it barely does anything. And thankfully Garchomp's really powerful dragon type attack misses. And now it hits us down to half. That's bad. I decide to risk it and use Brave Bird to hopefully one-shot it, and it works. Okay, we're okay. Next up is Togekiss, who can't really do anything against static, so I use this opportunity to heal up Mordecai for later. Yikes, Togekiss is doing more than I thought. But thankfully, Thunderbolt is an easy one-shot. Next is Milotic, who should also be an easy one-shot. Wow, she survived on just a few HP, and then she surfs, and holy shit, a critical hit where, oh my god, Static is just holding on by a thread. This is insane. I outspeed though, and she doesn't have any priority moves, so I feel safe just spamming Thunderbolt, even though I only have 3 HP left, and really want to heal. I should be good to attack, and I am, and take down the Milotic. Holy shit, Static, thank you for hanging in there. Next up is that Spiritomb from earlier, and I really want to heal, but I should outspeed, so I do it, and okay, we are getting through this. Lucario here is the last Pokemon who might be a problem for us. Thick Thighs should be able to one-shot this, but as you guys have seen with Byron Slayer, Lucario is a really powerful Pokemon, and holy shit, I did not anticipate him doing that much damage. If that was a crit, we'd be gone. And thank the fucking lord, it's a one-shot! We got this! Alright, Mordecai, let's end this. You and me, lad, it all started with you and now it's gonna end with you. There were tons of close calls where I fucked up, but I've learned from my mistakes and now we're here. Let's fuck 'em up, Mordecai! You are the first, and you are the last! Oh, fuck. Shit, man, that was a lot of fun to make. I saw these Nuzlocke videos around, thought it'd be fun, and I was right. This was fun as hell to make, and this is by far the longest video I've ever made. I did not expect this to be so long. Oh, so yeah, now I gotta get editing this monster. Oh, Jesus. And hey, if you stuck around this long, mate, I guess you enjoyed watching. I'm glad I could make something enjoyable for you. I hope it wasn't too cringe along the way. And I hope my shit mic audio quality isn't too big a problem either, but god, even if no one sees this whole thing, I don't care, man. This was fun as hell to make. I've never had my heart legitimately fucking pumping over a fucking kids game before. it was awesome getting some newfound enjoyment out of this old game I played as a kid. And now we're done. It's all over, and I'm a little sad. I'm a little sad that it's over. It was really fun doing the Nuzlocke. It was stressful and sucky at times, definitely, because all the grinding, all the stressing out that anybody could die at any moment. Like there's so many random little trainer battles I left out. There's so many here and there where like we could have actually died, and oh my god. And like every time somebody died, you'd have to pick somebody new, do all the fucking grinding to get them leveled up, and it was annoying at times, but by and large, a ton of fun. Especially since this is on emulator, so I can speed shit up, so a lot of them. And yes! We got PICHU in the Hall of Fame! Fuck yeah! Oh my god, but... Oh, and Rip our boy. Yeah. This also makes me all the more excited for the Gen 4 remakes. You know, they're remaking this game. That's coming out in November, I think. And, you know, this game, in my head, is like... kinda advanced future-y for Pokemon, because, you know, there's 3D graphics, everything is so polished and nice, and them remaking this is just crazy to me. Like, when I was little, and the Gen 2 remakes came out, I was like, holy shit, they got the graphics update from the shitty Game Boy stuff up to, like, 3D graphics, like, oh my god. When the Gen 4 remakes eventually get made, those are gonna be super realistic. It's gonna be fucking awesome, and it probably wouldn't have impressed little me all that much. I probably would have expected a bit more, but still, I fucking fantasize about that shit, about this thing getting remade, and it's finally happening. A bit surreal, and I'm really excited to play that. And now that I've finished this Nuzlocke, I have a bit of perspective. I have a bit of knowledge on what to expect. And I'm going to do a little comparing, contrasting. Because I'm sure it's going to be a really awesome feeling to see this entire world get remade like the other remakes have for a game that I legitimately played like in my childhood and that I have like fond memories of. Oh my god. I can't wait for the remakes to come out. BDSB. Fuck yeah. I'm excited for that. And fuck man, I'm just rambling at this point. You know what? Let's finish this off and conclude this long ass video. So let's look at the graveyard. Let's look at the final death count. 6 people. Oh my god. And you know, this is the weird thing that this challenge does, right? Because you have to name your Pokemon. You have to build a bond with them. You gotta live through these stressful experiences where they almost die, and then live through them actually fucking dying, and having to like experience what it feels like to have a hole in it. Legitimately feels like you have a hole in your team. Somebody is really missing. And it sounds stupid as hell to say, but like thinking back on these guys, like it's nice, you know? I have like good memories of these guys kicking ass and like how I trained them up and everything. Ugh, tragic. Truly tragic. Fuck, man. But that's it. That is the end of the video. That is the end of well, I guess this whole video's been fucking Mordecai's quest for I don't know, beating this fucking game. Anyways, video's done. Get the fuck out of here. I'm done. Get out of here. Fuck off. I'm done.